Well, welcome to the Budget Gamer channel, where you can find reviews on the latest or at least the cheapest indie games out there. Some indies are really difficult because they're overcomplicated, and some are really difficult despite being incredibly simple. And in all honesty, sometimes it's those games with the really simple mechanics that are both the most difficult and the most satisfying. Set at the judgment table of the four horsemen of the apocalypse right before you either reach the pearly gates of heaven or the eternal abyss of hell, it will be your job as the Grim Reaper, the protege of death himself, to make the judgments of who is or isn't worthy. And as simple as that guiding principle of the game is, the story itself is just as simple. You're pretty much a phantasm and you need work because you're hungry, so you got a job working for death. And the entirety of the game consists pretty much of a 7-week probationary period for you working before you get released on your own as the Grim Reaper. And as this is a 7-week probationary trial for you, your gameplay consists of 49 days or 49 levels of ever-increasing difficulty in your judgments of who deserves to go to heaven, hell, or even purgatory. And as much as we may consider this to be a result of your beliefs or even a roll of the dice here on Earth, in the gameplay the pixelated sprites let you know which way they should be going based on what they're wearing, what they're holding, or particular character attributes they may have. In the initial gameplay, these judgments are actually really simple because if you see a certain attribute, that's pretty much a yes or no decision. Seeing a big blood stain on a shirt or a bloody knife means condemned to hell, whereas a clean character is going to go to heaven. However, the further you make it into gameplay, the more leniency there seems to be. Not only are you expected to notice each of these attributes, whether it's a bloody pool under their feet, blood-stained clothes, horns, glowing eyes, or some particular thing they might be holding, you'll also be required to see how committed they are to the wrong deeds they've done. If they initially display characteristics that show that they've demonstrated violence or gluttony or something else in their past life, the difficulty in the game ramps up with you needing to check each of these attributes to see if they do indeed need to be condemned to hell or if they can slip through in purgatory. Using the A, B, X, and Y buttons, you'll pretty much be dividing each of the characters you need to judge into quadrants, seeing if you can get them to recant any of their past life mistakes by challenging the evidences that you see. And the longer the game carries on, the more features each candidate for judgment may have. And as these features reside in pretty much 4 areas of the character, whether it's their head, hands, clothes, or feet, the A, B, X, and Y buttons will be used to quickly check their commitment to their past misdeeds. If characters come in with no obvious signs of misdeeds, they can be passed along straight to heaven. But if they can't be washed of blood, refuse to drop their weapons, or display demonic horns, they need to be passed on to hell. However, if any of these challenges causes them to recant, they can be passed to purgatory. And each of these selections is done with the left, right, or down buttons. And it's the simple game mechanic of checking their attributes with your right hand while assigning their eternal future with your left that easily becomes so challenging, especially when new additional features are thrown into the game. The higher your ranking becomes as a temporary judge, you'll be assigned to train underlings. In the middle of your judgments, these underlings will be calling you and describing features of their own candidates, asking for your advice. Assigning the right future over the phone adds to your score, but making a mistake also detracts from it. And just like making mistakes with your own judgments, too many mistakes will cause you to fail a level. However, as annoying as failing a level may be, all levels are able to be replayed, so the only real reason to stress is if you're spending a little too many of your skulls on the unlockables between levels. These temporary bonuses can give you more time, allow you to get more skulls at the end of a past level, or allow you to avoid certain penalties. But as far as I've seen, they really don't affect the overall gameplay if you have the basic mechanics down already, so there's really no reason to blow through your stash. And with that being said, there really is no huge end goal or overarching story in the game. It's really meant to just be a simple arcade-style casual game. And in so saying, it is exactly that. So if you are a fan of those classic arcade-style games, or you enjoy the simple games that get more challenging as you go along, this might be something you'd actually enjoy playing. And while there's likely not that much replayability to the game, it does provide a solid 3 hours of gameplay and is a really good time sink if you're just playing on the go. So all in all, it does seem to fit its price pretty well, but it is $2.99 on Steam as opposed to $5 on the Switch. But that about wraps up the review of Peace Death, so if you enjoyed the review or found it helpful, feel free to throw me a like or a comment to show your support. And don't forget to subscribe to stay updated with the latest content. There are new and unique indies coming out every day, and they're always going on sale, so there's always going to be something to find right here. But anyway, this has been Budget Gamer, so as always, thanks for watching.